My dear students of grade 3, hello and welcome to your reading guide of Swan Lake Chapter 4. In this video, you are going to read and highlight the new vocabulary, know the chapter's events, listen to the chapter's audio, and then we will together find the answers of the questions. Let's start by the new vocabulary. Castle tower. That's a castle tower. Uncomfortable. It's a word that describes somebody who doesn't feel pleasant or relaxed because of something that bothers him or her. The boy here in the picture is uncomfortable. Locked up. To lock something up is to put it in a place or a container and hide it there and fasten the lock so nobody can open it. Like the files here in the second picture, they are locked up. Destroyed. This wall is destroyed. Prisoner. The girl here in the picture, she's kept inside a prison and cannot get out of it. She's not free. She is a prisoner. Curtain. This is a curtain. Here are the three pictures of the chapter 4. What do you think the chapter is telling us? I think the chapter is telling us the story that turned Adil into a bird from a princess. The first picture here shows the castle tower. I think that Adil was kept in. What about the second picture? Adil was a little bit happier because she had her parents before the evil wizard had turned her into a bird. And what about the third picture? I can see a handsome prince turning into an old man, while Adil is very sad and astonished. What exactly happened to Adil and made her turned into a bird? You will know during reading the chapter. Now it's time to listen to the audio, but before listening, you have two tasks to know about. The first task is to highlight the new vocabulary. The second task is to answer these questions. Where was Adil's room in the castle? What did Rockford ask Adil's father? Why did Adil refuse to marry Rockford? And why did Rockford's face change? 4 things you have to underline. Place of Adil's room in the castle. The question that Rockford asked Adil's father about. The reason why Adil refused to marry Rockford, and the reason why Rockford's face changed. Are you ready to listen now? Let's start.
Chapter 4. A Bird in a Cage. Odil's room was at the top of the castle tower. Rockford had put her there after he had taken her from her parents. She was the most beautiful princess in the land, and her parents were good and kind. Rockford had asked her father if he could marry Odile.
We must ask my daughter what she thinks.
Odile was brought to the wizard.
Princess Odile.
Odile, this man has asked to marry you. He says she is very rich and that he will make you the happiest princess in the world. What do you think?
Odile looked into the wizard's eyes.
Do you promise to love me forever with all your heart? Will you love me so much that you will not think of what you want, even if it hurts you to do this?
The look in her eyes and her questions made Rockford uncomfortable.
Why do you ask me such questions? I told your father I could give you everything you could want.
The princess smiled and turned her head away.
I'm sorry, father, but I will not marry this man. He does not know what love is.
They did not know then that he was a wizard. Rockford had looked like a prince. He wore beautiful clothes and looked very handsome. But when he heard what Odile said to her father, his face began to change. It became old and ugly. His clothes changed from blue to black.
You don't know what you're saying, you silly girl. I do not have to ask for what I want. I am a wizard. I can do anything I please.
He waved his hands through the air, and a fire started in the castle where the princess and her parents lived. He had turned Odile into a small bird in a cage and carried her to his castle, where he locked her up in a tower. The entire kingdom was destroyed by this fire, and her parents were killed. There was a real bird in a cage in Odile's room at the wizard's castle. The wizard had put it there so that Odile would remember the power he had over her. He only let her leave the castle as a swan, because he did not want other men to fall in love with her. At night, she stayed in her room, talking to the bird, who was her only friend. She called the bird Patrice, because it was her mother's name.
Oh, Patrice, what should I do? The ball is tonight, and I am a prisoner here. I believe the prince loves me with all his heart. I saw it in his eyes. He loved me even as a swan.
The bird began moving its wings wildly. It always knew when something horrible was about to happen.
What is it, Patrice? What are you afraid of?
Odile heard keys in her locked door. She put the bird and its cage behind a curtain, because she did not want the bird to see what was about to happen.
Now it's the end of the audio, and I expect that you got the answer of our questions. The first question was, remind me, Yes, where was Odile's room in the castle? Excellent, it was in the first line. It was at the top of the castle tower. Yes. The second question asked us, what did Rockford ask Odile's father? He asked her father if he could marry Odile. Excellent. Question number 3, who remembers? Why did Odile refuse to marry Rockford? Because she thinks that he doesn't know what love is. Because he didn't know what love was. Yes. And the last question, why did Rockford's face change? Because he heard what Odile said to her father. And I think now you know exactly what happened that made Odile now a swan. Okay, now let's go for the last part of our video, which is the post-reading questions. These are the rest of the questions in your worksheet. Let us read them one by one and find the answers. Question number 5. What did the wizard do when Odile refused to marry him? Do you remember the part? It was in page number 24. After he said that she's a solo girl and he appeared to be a wizard. Yes, I got it. He had turned Odile into a small bird in a cage and carried her to his castle, where he locked her up in a tower. Question, and not only this, yes, the entire kingdom was destroyed by his fire, and her parents were killed. So bad. What about number 6? Why did the wizard put a real bird in a cage in Odile's room? You remember? Yes, it's in the next paragraph. The wizard put it there so that Odile would remember the power he had over her. Excellent. Number 7. What was the bird's name? Why did she call it so? Remember the bird in the name? Yes, Patrice. Excellent. Because it was her mother's name. Why did the bird move its wings wildly? He told us as it always knew when something horrible was about to happen. And the last question, supposed to be 9. What did Odile do when she heard the keys in her door? She put the bird in its cage behind a curtain. And why? Because she didn't want the bird to see what was about to happen. Here are the questions and the answers. And finally, don't forget to print the worksheet to answer it. Then check your answers later using the model answer. Hope it was that useful for you. Good luck. Presented by Ms. Lusam. Thank you.